Hey everyone, Avanita here. So I'm gonna share all the AI things that I learned recently. So this is a no BS guide to AI mastery. So let's start. So I recently did four courses from Google called Prompting Essentials, and I learned a lot. And I have been experimenting a lot with the different AI tools, and I got tremendous results. So I wanted to share a very fast, quick guide. So first is basically a 5-step prompt framework. There is task, context, references, evaluate and iterate. So don't worry, I'll go one by one. First is task. So when we are talking to an AI agent and specifically LLM, let's go with ChatGPT as an example. You need to define the task properly. So under task, there is persona and format. For example, if I just tell ChatGPT, tell me about weight loss. So this is a general thing which some people might say. So let's see the output. It's giving us the basic things. It's good enough, right? Calories in, calories out, all these things. But we can do better, right? So the first thing is persona. Persona means you need to tell the AI what role you want it to take, right? So you can tell you are an expert in medicine and fitness. Tell me about weight loss. Yes. So here I felt like the answers are a little bit more scientifically oriented. It is giving more of a data and statistics. This is just the starting point. We'll do even better. Okay. So the next thing is format. Format means what output you want the AI to give, basically in what style and shape. So we can tell it to give okay. If I tell like give the answer in a tabular format, it will give us the core principles of weight loss in a tabular format, basically table, right? So this is how we can manage the different formats. So the next part is context. So as you might or might not know, LLMs work by predicting the next word in the context. They just keep on predicting next word, and that's how they are able to form a clear-cut answer or a paragraph. There are a lot of technical things that are happening in the background, but you just need to understand that at the very surface level, AI are basically next word predictors. But at a deeper level, they have a whole understanding of different nuances. We can keep it for later. So here we were talking about context. So the more the context we give to the AI, the better it can give, the better answers it can give, and it will craft and modify the answers as per the context. So we can tell, just imagine, you can tell you are a medical expert specializing in weight loss and longevity. Give 5 weight loss tips for a person who is obese, Indian, vegetarian, for example. Yes, so as I mentioned, the vegetarian part, it's giving the protein requirement. So it has changed the answers according to the context, right? Yes, it's even giving Indian words like roti, rice, and dal, chole, all these things, right? So it has adapted to the context that we have given it. So the next part is references. So references are basically the examples that we can provide to the AI, and we can tell it to be like it, right? So for example, I'll post 3 of my blog posts to ChatGPT and tell it to write in my style. So I'm telling it you are a blog writer. I will paste 3 of my blog titles and post. Write a new post. Exactly in my exactly in my style. So now I'm gonna paste 3 blog posts of mine. So I'm also writing you are free to choose any topic. You have creative freedom. So I'm curious what the output will be. Okay, it's telling the joy of small experiments. Yes, so the short sentences that it has written, it seems to be quite close to my the style in which I write the blog post. So based on the example that we provide, it will work in a similar style, context and everything. So and the example that we give are called shorts. There is something called zero shot prompting, where you don't provide an example and you just move on with a question. There is single shot prompting. Basically you just give one example, like you paste a poem and write a similar poem. There is multi-shot, which is similar to what I did. I provide multiple examples to it and it will embed those things and provide a similar answer. So the more the examples that we give, the better it will give you. So AI, especially LLMs, are very general things. You need to tell them exactly what you want and how you want. The more specific you are, the better answers you will get. And the standard rule is to give it 3 examples if it's a new thing. If it's a very standardized thing, you can go with zero shot also. Next is evaluate. So evaluate means you need to see how the answer is and you need to improve. So I found that this sounds a little bit formal as per the taste of my blog post, and it also depends on the example that I provided. So I'm iterating it. I'm changing the answer. You need not go with the answer which it gives you directly, right? You can improve upon it. So this is the power of LLMs. LLMs are basically large language models like ChatGPT, if you didn't know. Make this post a little bit informal. Try to use my style. Oh, this is quite interesting. So it's telling, like, recently I realized something funny. So it's talking more in my style, more direct sentences of how I write the blog post. So next point is iterate. So similar, I combined the 2 points basically, evaluate and iterate. So basically you create different versions of the answer. You need not go with the one answer. I just considered my notes and it's telling that the ideal number of examples to give is 2 to 5. I mentioned 3, right? So 2 to 5 is considered the standard range. Okay, there are a few general points that you need to keep in mind. Let's go with a new chat. It's always better to break your prompt into smaller sentences. That way, the way AI works, LLMs work, it will be able to process it better. Let's try something off the top of my head. Give me biohacking ideas to improve my health, lose weight and improve sleep quality. Yes, so I just made one big sentence, right? Let's see how the answer will be. It's giving good answers because this is quite a standard question, right? But if it was a very crazy question, then answer might be a little more generic. So let's try to improve the prompt. For example, just assume I am a 30-year-old male. I want to improve my sleep and health. Give me 5 brief ways to do it. Be direct, be scientific. Yes, so this is the way you break the prompts. Yes, I really love this answer because it is very short and direct and to the point. It has given us 5 points. Yes, you see how the answer is different. This is like some generic answer which I don't like, but this is really good. Next point is that regularly clear the AI's memory to reduce bias. So what happens is, as you start creating a lot of chats, it remembers all the previous memories. It can be useful in some context, but sometimes it creates bias. It leads to certain direction. If you want it to start from a clean slate, what you can do is go to your name and settings. And data controls and delete all chats. If you don't want to delete this, then you need to delete this one by one by going like this and delete. So what happens is it deletes the previous memories, it starts fresh. And just imagine if it's going wonky, you can delete this and start fresh. And sometimes what happens is you want to paste in a very long amount of text and you want to ask for a summary, right? But sometimes it crosses the limits. Just imagine you have to paste a whole PDF of a book. Sometimes you won't be able to do it. There is a limitation of context window, and sometimes the limitation is the free plan. So what you can do is you just paste chapter by chapter, ask it to generate the summary of the first chapter, then ask it to generate the summary of the second chapter. Do it one by one, then paste all the summaries together and ask it to create one big summary. This is how you can break through the barriers and put in long inputs. And there are advanced methods like top P and top K, so I'll skip those for now. And there's one more thing called temperature. In using these kind of AI tools, you don't have access to it through the normal interface, but through some other interfaces like maybe Google Studio, I don't know, you have access to temperature. So temperature is one number where you can control and tell how creative the answer should be or how predictable the answer should be. If the temperature is the least, then the answers will be very predictable. It just follows the most probable next word. But if the temperature is high, then it gives you more creative responses. So if you want factual answers, you keep the temperature low. If you want creative answers, you keep the temperature high. And what you do is you start building a library of your own prompts. There are specific prompts which work for specific context. You keep saving them and keep a record of those. And whenever you have the specific work, you just use the prompt. And there's next method called prompt chaining. You just ask a follow-up question. So you are just building upon the answer of the previous prompt. Let me just see if I can get an example. So I'm just asking ChatGPT to give me an example of prompt chaining, using AI to know more about AI. Okay, so basically what it means is getting the previous answer and asking question relevant to that. So I'll show you. Give me a list of 20 protein sources. Okay, it has given me 20. There are eggs also, fish, paneer, all these things. Now I tell, this is like prompt chaining, right? From these items, choose only vegetarian. Yes. Great. From these, choose 5 cheap ones. I wrote 5 by the way. Yes, these are the cheapest. So if you keep on building, this is called prompt chaining. And one of the most killer features is using AI to generate AI prompts. So let's go to the biohacking chat. So the first prompt was give me biohacking ideas, right? So I'll just ask it, tell me what better prompt I can give to you to get accurate and specific answers for this question. So ChatGPT itself will give me the prompt. So its prompt is give me 5 science-backed ways for a 30-year-old male to improve sleep quality and overall health. Keep the answer brief, actionable, evidence-based. Avoid generic advice. Focus on what to do, when to do, and why it works in one line each. Right? So AI itself will tell you how to talk to AI. And there's one more level. When you give a prompt, you can tell AI to evaluate your prompt. It will only tell you if it's good or not. So for example, I'm copying my first prompt. Evaluate my prompt as per the standard prompting practices. Yes, the strength side was very clear. Weaknesses is too broad. There is no constraint, no personalization, nothing. So there's another point here, constraints. You need to tell exactly what to include, what not to include. Should the answer be short? Should the answer be long? Keep it under these many words, word limit, everything. These are constraints. How much you give constraint, that much you might get an accurate answer or what you want. Okay, that was the next point in my notes, by the way. Constraint is you need to type what's the format you want, tone, length, and audience. Let's see if before my battery dies I can get a good one. Give me 10 tips for improving sleep. This is general thing. Now I want format. Format is basically 10 bullet points. Tone is easy for a 10-year-old. Length is less than 400 words. Okay, basically this will be audience. Tone is friendly. I'm just keeping this as bullet point. You can also write it in a sentence. Yes, so we got a great answer. So these were my tips basically. I hope to catch up with you in the next video. Learn all these things, keep experimenting, and yeah, build your own understanding, keep your notes, build a prompt library. Bye bye.